Hey y'all, hey, this is the knowing. This is seeing and all knowing. This is seeing and all knowing. Just coming with a quick story on what's happening with our children. If you do not know, I am seeing and all knowing on YouTube. I'm the knowing on Facebook. Anytime you see that red truck, it's your girl. It's your girl, Dr. Lisa. I'm not gonna be on here long, probably about 10 minutes. No, I'm gonna be on here till 11 o'clock. There's a total of 15 minutes and I'm out of here. It appears that every time, hey, Miss Samantha, it appears that every time we turn around, something is going on with our children. It just is. Every time, hey, Miss House, hey, honey, every time, something happens, it's with the children. Hey, Miss Harris. And it continues to go on and on and on. I picked up this story today. It actually happened around the 17th. But I got it today and I looked. And thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. But a 14-year-old, hey, Miss Mike Carter, baby, a 14-year-old boy is incarcerated right now in Riverview, Florida, for allegedly pawing his mother and her boyfriend 5 times. Pow, 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 pow. 14 years old now. Hey, Miss Yates, what is going on with our children? I mean, every time you turn, you look. This was his mother and her boyfriend. Okay. The sheriff, was on the scene, and he said it was a nightmare. When he spoke to the press late Saturday, he did a brief, briefing. Yeah, very sad, Miss Mike Carter. And it happened in Riverview, Florida. Dispatch was called from a neighbor about a young male was running through the neighborhood with the heat. I'm being very careful because they're getting some of my videos. Hey, Miss Scott. And so they called and they said he was running through the neighborhood. And what he had in his hands. Deputies confronted him because he's 14. He is considered a child. And negotiated with him for 16 minutes. And he gave over the heat to them. At several points that they talked for those minutes, he put the gun here. Mm-hmm. Hey, Greg. Miss Jane said, I seen that one. That's where he put it. Mm-hmm. And but after several times and several minutes of talking to him, he finally gave it to him. But he kept threatening to end his own self. Thank you, Miss Mike Carter. Y'all, please thumbs the video up. Thank you, 12 beautiful people. And they said he was running them down or whatever. They're said to believe that the young man ran the boyfriend down and had the heat with him. And they said that he had he did to the boyfriend first, and this is the very disturbing part, then chased his mother down the driveway a couple of houses away, according to the reports. Of course, the lives have been changed forever. The sheriff said it was a nightmare, even for him. And he said that the 14-year-old, was gone, wouldn't see daylight again. because of this horrific crime. Um, and he said that it was the family violence at his worst, is what he said. They describe it as being textbook. And they said that because they was trying to negotiate it down, they had to kind of tell the officers stand down. Because they didn't want to use any force. Several times he would lower it and then he would re-enter it. And they was trying to keep that from not happening. But they had the intuition to know he never tried to threaten them, though. He never threatened them. And that's what they said. The deputies had the intuition to know that he wasn't trying to be a threat to them. So in that case, they were really calm with them. And everything worked out. But none of them felt that he was trying to do anything to them. Now, what happened in that house, I have no idea. There was no yelling or anything. They actually stood there and established rapport. That's why they say it's textbook. I don't care what you do, and especially if you're a counselor and you worth your salt, if you can gain rapport with your clients, the consumers, you already won them over. You already gonna find out what's happening. So they have taken him in, and of course I will continue to follow this story. But that's what happened. I never heard of Riverview, Florida before, but it is a Riverview, and it's I'm thinking that the mother could have been unalived, and maybe the boyfriend is fighting for his life. That's what the article led to believe. I got to look up for an update because this was the 17th. Yes, that's what it seems like, Miss Yates. And a lot of times that's how, it appears for whatever reasons. But he did not try to harm them. And when you get out and you run it through the neighborhood with that could get very dangerous. But they pulled up, and according to the sheriff, they were very calm. They didn't oppose a threat towards him. And he didn't try to do anything towards them. And that's a lot of things that sometimes, and I know that, officers are trained to do what they have to do. But oftentimes, if we sit back and we think about things, that's any of us. If we think about things won't escalate out of control. I know y'all may not believe that, but sometimes we can prevent some things from happening just with a calm demeanor. Now, if he had put it or pointed towards them, then it may have been a different story. But I just like, Miss Yates says something with the mother and that boyfriend. That's why, people are grown. I'm going to just say this. People are grown and they do what they want because it's their house. But sometimes when you have children, sometimes your children have to come before the man or the woman. They do. But sometimes it's not like that. A quick story. It was happened maybe 10 years ago. A client I had. Okay, Miss Sharon, near Tampa. Okay. And yeah, that's right. You do. Sometimes you have to do that. And the young man's mother had passed. His father married again and married a younger woman. She didn't want them kids. She didn't want them. She didn't want them. She didn't even treat them right. See, that's what I just can't understand. These are your kids. Your wife is going on to be with the Lord, hopefully. And you have your kids back here. You and your 3 children are doing fine. You gonna meet Jezebel. Because I'm sorry, remember it's my story? You gonna meet Jezebel. Jezebel don't like your children. Jezebel does everything to get your children out of the house. You see that you're being manipulated. I don't know if it was because the money was coming in the house, a check from the, deceased. I don't know. And I'm not pretending to know about that because that wasn't my business. But they have a grandmother, their mother's mother, who loves them and want them. She sees how they are being mistreated. Won't nobody help her. They think she's just old and just don't know no better. But she could see it. She did have visitations and they would tell her and cry to her. But she would pray. See, prayer changes things. When a lie was told on one of those kids, yep. And so the lie could have got the young man in a lot of trouble. But then went on to lie about the other child too. So a therapist was brought in there to find, what was true. All allegations was a lie. The therapist helped the grandmother get custody of these kids. Once they told them everything that was happening, the counselor went a little bit farther, worked off the clock, and find out people who could support these stories. And the woman, the young, evil woman, in my opinion, allegedly, told how she was going to get these kids out of that house. And the man still chose that woman. Which to me now, if you ask me, was a great thing for those kids because they didn't have to be subjected to that. They don't lost their mama. They're grieving. They want to be up here with the grandmama because they ain't been treating right down here. And she don't want them there anyway. Oh, very evil. Jezebel. That's who she was. She wasn't bothered about him either. But that's why I say money was involved. Because when the children left, I'm assuming there's extra money left. And not too long later, she was gone. See, we got to be very careful dealing with folk who ain't bothered about us. They want what you can give them. They don't want you. And these are your children. Why would you let anybody come at a house that you and your wife bought and mistreat these children? Hey, Miss Diane, baby, why would you do that? But needless to say, it happens every day. And sometimes a woman would bring a man in their house and they forget about their children. Miss Mike Carter, that's the same thing I said. The same exact thing. But I said it to him. You don't let nobody come between you and your children. A woman come dime a dozen. Men can come. But you don't let nobody mistreat your children. Yes, you do. You got to be very careful. But people don't care no more about who they let in their home. The only thing, and I'm sorry, but women tell me this, and I just shake my head, and I say to myself, I'm going to definitely pray for them. But they say the best way to get over another man or woman is to get up on another one. Oh, that's the best way to get over one? What happened to praying and waiting and all this stuff out here in these streets? What happened to that? You would let somebody come in and mistreat your child just because you want a woman or a man? That's why the world is like it is. Because ain't nobody going to tell me. Nobody just gets up with heat and just start. It's been something going on in there. Now, the doctor don't know what it is, but it's been something's going on. I tell y'all all the time, when you hear something, it ain't the first time it happened. They just didn't get caught. That's it. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go. I'm going to continue to tell y'all this. Don't let folks play in your face. Don't do that. Don't let folks come and give you sad stories. And you just open your pocketbook and you throw it to them. Stop all that. People are trying to run up a bag. And if the story ain't mathing, ain't none of it mathing. I only come on here to give you what I think, my opinion. But it ain't mathing. You do not have to give folks your money for them to like you or notice you on here. You know? The only thing, if that's what you want, come on over here. The knowing and seeing and all knowing, call y'all name all the time and ain't asking for nothing. It's beginning to get a lot of sickness around here. I don't even know how these folk get on my timeline. I ain't never seen them before. Never. But they on here telling these lies. Because they lies now. They ain't the truth. They on here telling lies to these folk to get money. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. And I said, where they came from? And I don't start writing the names down, child, so I can go back and see. And somebody hollering this is skit, and somebody hollering, it ain't no skit. They do it all the time. I don't care what nobody tell you. Ain't nobody mortgage behind every month. Do y'all hear me? I don't care what they tell y'all. I don't care what they say and how they say it. I'm doing good, Richard. How are you? Everybody ain't. Y'all got to stop believing this stuff. You hear me? Stop believing all this stuff. They lying to you. They playing in your face. And like I said, I never seen these folk before. Just came up on my timeline when I was scrolling. And I said, let me stop and listen at this. Honey, I could tell it was a lie. And the folks would say, well, what's your cash out? What's your Venmo? I don't even know what Venmo is. Do you got PayPal? I don't have cash out. And they were all trying to get I don't want to lie. I think it was $700, but I don't want to lie, y'all. But the mortgage. And somebody said this same skit go on every 3 months. Y'all, this is your girl seeing and all knowing. I just thought that I would bring some tea out. Thank you, Miss Samantha. Thank you. Y'all, Samantha is just showing out. And I was finna in. Thank you, Miss Samantha. Thank you for helping your girl. Yes, playing with people. Yes. Because when you got kids, little kids, and you saying somebody finna put you out, people hearts But when I saw somebody, see, I be in them comments. Thank you, Miss Samantha. Miss Samantha sent a big cash out. Super chat. I think it's super chat. Thank you, Miss Samantha. And may God give it to you double fold. But somebody was in there saying, this happened every other month. And then somebody say, is this a skit? Does it go on every 3 months? Come on now, ain't nobody needing that every month. And then you go up there and you look at these people's numbers. And you look how long they've been here. Do you realize that Facebook is paying them? I don't care what nobody tell you. When you see them ads, they're getting paid. Okay? They're getting paid. Yes. Oh, yeah. And some people got 4 and 5 pages and got a big following. So y'all be careful with that. I'm talking about, I have never ever seen these folk before. And I was like, and these people are just, I just scrolled on by and tried to mind my own business. That's what I did. That's what I did. Y'all, this is your girl, seeing and all knowing. Thank you again, Samantha. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I love each and every one of you all. You know your girl will be back. I know I didn't get him but once today, but my goal is to get on YouTube twice a day. I love y'all, but God loves you more. Y'all, this is the knowing. This is seeing it all knowing, and I'm out.